The S&P 500 lost 3% on October 10th, and then it took 2 weeks to recover the loss. The S&P 500 then lost 3.5% on November 20th, and it took only 3 days to recover the loss. This means that there was a rush, and this is the reason why we are calling it as manipulation. Initially, the S&P 500 on Monday was supposed to be limited to the 668x, maximum to 668x. And if the S&P 500 moves beyond 668x, this is the heavy resistance level. In that case, it is pure manipulation. Otherwise, it was impossible technically to move. So in my final update, I mentioned that today's, means on that day, Monday's heavy manipulation is or will be seen as a blessing in disguise from the manipulators. However, we have seen the pump and dump. Pump and dump within the first hour, that it came down by 1%, then recovered by 1% within the first hour. And it is heading to the high of this candle. That is why I have issued a warning on November 25th to my members that now the S&P 500 is heading to the 677x. This means that now the market is in a condition to change its short-term trend from bearish to bullish. And then in this, the midweek update, I mentioned that if the S&P 500 opens above the 6770.35 on Wednesday and sustains above, then most likely we are seeing a change and the movement to the 6,800 and then to the 6,900 in the coming days. So now that the S&P 500 has changed the trend and has re-entered into the bullish cycle, this is the part of the AI bubble. Okay, now it is confirmed and everyone is talking about the AI bubble. So AI bubble is there. We are in the bubble. Even the hedge fund managers, everyone is saying. However, this bubble is not expected to burst now. Okay, but this bubble will burst. Okay, is expected to burst in the 2026. So how the S&P 500 is going to trade in the next week, the bullish, the mark and the bearish side. Okay, what will the levels, numbers, etc. What will be the impact of this, the AI bubble, whether there will be more manipulation or not. All of that I am going to discuss in detail in this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, which is for the week of December 1st. Means from December 1st, which is Monday, to December 5th, that will be Friday. Now guys, let me tell you that I have divided this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis in two parts. First is the technical part. The second one is the probable movement. In the technical part, I will cover the candles, the technicals on the weekly and the daily chart, and then I will tell you that percentage wise, how much percentage, okay, the market is bullish or bearish and what we are expecting in the coming days. Then comes the second part. Second part is the probable movement. In the probable movement, I will tell you that whether the bullishness will continue or if it has saturated the technicals and it will come down. If it's come down, then to what level, then a bounce or just another failure. All of that in this, the probable movement section. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. So now guys, I will start with the technical part. So guys, this is the weekly chart. Okay, weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. If you notice this last weekly candle, a very heavy weekly candle, and from the low to the high, the S&P 500 gained 3.3%. Okay, and from the previous closing, the S&P 500 gained 3.75%. Okay. So this indicates that there was very heavy push, very heavy manipulation, and there was rush in the market. The only reason is that the market has started to turn bearish. Okay, and in order to keep the bullish momentum and the FOMO, okay, the market was pushed higher so that whenever market comes down, okay, then it moves up, comes down, moves up. So it keeps the sentiment, the bullish sentiments alive in the market in a manner that the people started to think that the market will never come down. The market will never ever come down. Okay. However, that's not the case because we are in the bubble. Okay. The AI bubble is there. AI bubble means now the 7 companies are controlling the entire market, and around $1 trillion. Okay, $1 trillion. These 7 companies are, so this $1 trillion is revolving within these 7 companies. So bubble will burst. Okay, this is now what we know, and it is confirmed, but not now, not immediately, not now. Okay. So in terms of the technicals, this candle is heavily bullish, very heavy bullish. Okay, closed above the high and low and the open of this, the entire candle. Okay, and approximately equal to the high of itself. Okay, indicating a gap up open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. Okay, bullishness, clearly bullishness through this the candle. The last weekly candle of the Dow Jones is again the same, exactly the same. Okay, indicating a gap up open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. Okay, this can also be seen through the candle. Now in terms of the technicals on the weekly chart, okay, not much, but see, last time the weekly candle closed below the moving average. This was the first time after 6 months. Okay, and this has triggered some bearishness in the entire market, but now it has again closed above the moving average. Okay, clear fan out. So S&P 500 is bullish through the moving averages, Ichimoku cloud and the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart. And then the S&P 500 here through other technicals, it is bearish through the MACD on the weekly chart. It is bearish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart, and is neither saturated nor overbought. Okay. However, the thing is that if there comes a small green candle, a little bullish, okay, candle, weekly candle. Remember, this is the weekly chart. If there comes a limited weekly candle or a limited red candle, very limited red candle, very small, like this kind of red candle or this kind of red candle, okay, or any kind of green candle, then the stochastic RSI will turn bullish. Okay, and when the stochastic RSI changes to bullish, then the market will come into the condition wherein it will gain the bullish momentum. There will be a fear because of the MACD, because MACD is still trading bearish. Okay, so unless the MACD also turns bullish, there will remain a fear of a sudden fall. Exactly the same condition is there in the Dow Jones also. So Dow Jones is also bullish through the moving averages, Bollinger Bands and the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. And the Dow Jones is Dow Jones has surprisingly regained the bullishness. Okay, the MACD. There was a very little the crossover in the last week. Now because of this heavy bullishness, the MACD of the Dow Jones has again turned bullish. Okay, this is indicating that the S&P 500, okay, most likely the MACD of the S&P 500 will also turn bullish in the next week. Okay, it just need to go bullish. Okay, limited bullish movement will also work. Stochastic RSI, although okay, it is bearish, so there is still not the same, okay, the direction in the stochastic RSI and MACD. And if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel for last many months or years, then I've repeated the concept. Both of these technicals, MACD and the stochastic RSI, okay, if they are aligned in a particular direction, then that direction, okay, indicates the momentum. Okay, so once the stochastic RSI also aligns bullish, then this will indicate bullish momentum. Okay, bullish momentum means the market will move up higher. Okay, so in this manner, the Dow Jones is 90% bullish on the weekly chart, and the S&P 500 is still 70% bullish on the weekly chart. Now in the short term, whether it is moving up or coming down, this will be more clear through the daily chart. So guys, before I discuss the daily chart, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to get daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. And guys, so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. So now guys, this is the daily chart. Daily chart means one candle represents one day, not 1 week or 1 hour. One candle means one day. Let's first analyze the candle. Candle is bullish. Okay, good bullish. indicating an initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday, but a gap up open cannot be confirmed. This is the daily candle of the Dow Jones, exactly the same, an initial or intraday bullish movement, but a gap up open is not confirmed. Okay, so now it's clear that on Monday, irrespective of anything, okay, an initial or intraday bullish movement or a gap up open will be there. Even if there comes a fall, then also it will be in a condition to move up, okay, initially or intraday. In terms of the technicals, okay, so technicals, S&P 500 is now, because of this crossover in the moving averages, bullish crossover, okay, S&P 500 is bullish through the moving averages on the daily chart. Okay, it is also bullish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart, and is also bullish through the Ichimoku cloud. Okay, so it came down, it was trading closed in the Ichimoku cloud for 4 days, but it never gave a closing below the Ichimoku cloud. This was the primary condition for more fall. This is, I have mentioned, okay, in the previous S&P 500 weekly technical analysis also. Only when there comes one closing, okay, sorry, only when there comes two closings in the S&P 500 below the Ichimoku cloud, it will trigger the fall. Or if there comes two closings below the Ichimoku cloud in the Nasdaq, and there comes one closing below the Ichimoku cloud in the S&P 500, then also this will trigger the fall. And if there comes no such closing, then it will trade inside the Ichimoku cloud or will try to break the boundary of the Ichimoku cloud. Okay, so it is there. The S&P 500 is also, it has regained, okay, the bullishness through the MACD. Okay, yesterday and this happened yesterday. The MACD and the moving averages, okay, they changed this the direction yesterday only, okay, on Friday. Stochastic RSI is already bullish. It was very much bullish, okay, from last week also. Okay, not saturated, so it is neither saturated, okay, nor overbought or so. However, on the lower level charts, on the hourly charts or so, on the lower level charts, the S&P 500 is saturated, indicating that this bullish movement cannot continue for long, not for more than 1 or 2 days, and we will eventually see, okay, intraday fall. The hourly charts, or this means intraday fall or a fall only for 1 to 2 days. That's it, not more than that. Limited fall. Okay, but this is not expected to change this the technicals as of now. Okay, so in this manner, the S&P 500 will be seen as 100% absolute bullish on the daily chart. The Dow Jones is also the same, exactly the same. Okay, yesterday only, okay, the Dow Jones gained this, the bullishness through the moving averages. So Dow Jones is also bullish through the moving averages, Bollinger Bands, and the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. And the Dow Jones is also, yes, yesterday it has gained this. Dow Jones is bullish through the MACD and the stochastic RSI. Okay, yesterday. So Dow Jones is also, it will be seen as 100% absolute bullish on the daily chart. Okay, now this 100% absolute bullishness on the daily chart and the 70 or the 90% bullishness on the weekly chart means market is again keeping the bullish sentiments alive. Okay, keeping the bullish sentiments alive, keeping the FOMO alive. Okay, in a manner that everyone must think, everyone, 99.9% people must think, okay, that market is not going to break, market is not going down, market will not go down, it will rather move up. Okay, all of this exercise is for that, and that is what I mentioned yesterday here. Okay, this movement and momentum, the MACD has turned bullish, and also the bullish crossover in the moving average is making the market absolute bullish. So what does this mean? The absolute bullish on the daily chart and then heavily bullish on the weekly chart. This means that the bullish movement will now continue, and now the manipulation is not needed because the technicals have turned bullish. Okay, so now the technical traders, okay, and everyone, because it has turned bullish, okay, and also it has breached and sustained above the high of this candle, okay, and the closings back to back, two closings. So market has turned bullish. No manipulation is needed, not now, okay, as of now. But because of some saturation on the lower level charts, okay, we will expect some fall, but this fall will be limited. This fall will be there, but this fall will be limited. This fall will not be heavy like this fall or this fall, okay, unless some news, some kind of news comes, okay. Otherwise technically a limited fall will be there, okay, and then it will move up. So this is the change, the biggest change, because now the technicals will not allow any heavy fall, because the technicals are have confirmed 100% bullishness on the daily chart. So now how the movement will be seen in the next week, that will be the next part, the next section, okay, the probable movement part. But guys, before that, I have this information to share with you, that if you also want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. And guys, it's not just about the daily precise updates which I give to my Patreon community members every day from Monday through Friday, but I also give the opportunities in the premium stocks and the ETFs, okay, 5050 to 8080, 50 to 80 monthly opportunities. And that's not all. I also give the midweek update video technical analysis. It is given every Wednesday, generally every Wednesday. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page and this is my Patreon profile. And here you will see this button which says membership options. Okay, and when you click on this button, then you will see that there are the 3 levels or these 3 tiers: level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is daily S&P 500 updates. You will get the daily updates and the midweek update video. Level 2 is daily S&P 500 updates and the premium opportunities. Level 3 is the daily S&P 500 updates, opportunities, hacks, options, and all of that will be delivered through the one-on-one Zoom video meeting. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates as well as the premium opportunities and the midweek update, and they are very well aware of the movement of the market and these are things. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community. Now guys, I am going to discuss the second part of the agenda, and this is the second part, the probable movement. The probable movement means what is expected to happen in the market, what condition, what will trigger the bullish movement, what will trigger the bearish movement, all of that. Okay. And this will be for the coming week, the week of December 1st. Okay, means from December 1st, which is Monday, to December 5th, that will be Friday. Okay. Now, probable movement. So next week, only 2 things. Okay, Monday after market hours, Fed chairman, okay, he will speak. And whatever he's going to say, its impact will be seen or its impact will be felt on Tuesday. Okay. And if there comes no impact, then we'll have to wait until Friday, because on Friday the PCE and the core PCE data will be released. This data was not released for, I think, for last 1 month or last 2 months, okay, when there was a government shutdown. So now we will see this, the PCE, the inflation data, and this is happening before the December 10th. Okay, December 10th is the FOMC meeting. Okay, the PCE data will be released. So this will further tell us whether there are any chances for the rate cut or not, okay, or how the Feds are going to look into the economic situation condition, because the December 10th FOMC will also, we will also get the SEPs, okay, the economic projections. Anyway, so that I will cover in the next week. So for now, in the absence of the data, in the absence of these things, okay, and the big event is on Friday, okay, if there comes nothing on Monday, okay, evening after market hours from the Fed chairman. So what we know is that the S&P 500 has recovered and has gained 6770.35. Okay, this was the primary condition for the bullishness to happen, or for the bullish movement to happen. Okay, and this is kind of exactly the same what we have seen here. Okay, the only difference is that this time it was manipulated, last time it was non-manipulated. That is why it took 2 weeks for the S&P 500 to come out of this condition, and here it took only 3 days. Only 3 days. Okay, every day around 1.5 or 2% intraday movement. So very heavy push. Okay, rush. So heavily manipulated it was. But the condition will remain same as it was in the okay, at that time in October. Means as of now, any fall will be limited to this mark, to the 6770.35. What is that? This is the high of this candle. Okay, now when this fall happens, okay, then the Ichimoku cloud also comes into the picture. The Ichimoku cloud is also in the 675x or the 676x. So the market will get two times, okay, the support, 2x support, okay, one through this, the high of the mark, and the secondly through the Ichimoku cloud. Third one comes my level in the 677x. So there are these the three factors that will provide that support. Okay, I'm not saying that this fall will happen immediately on Monday also. Okay, I'm saying whenever the fall happens, whenever, okay, this will be the scenario. Okay, the fall will be up to this mark, because last time when we have seen this, the fall, then the fall was up to this, the high of this candle. It moved up, okay, then came down and sustained. More fall was seen only when it breached, it lost on the closing basis the high of this candle. Okay, exactly the same kind of scenario, the same kind of picture. It will hold whenever it comes down for 1, 2 or 3 days. It will hold here. Okay, so bearish side will be in this condition, the bullish side. Okay, because now the bullish side is open. So bullish side will be to what level? Let me mark this thing. Okay, the bearish side. And actually we can say that this is the barrier. This is the barrier or the tiebreaker. Okay, now bullish side, S&P 500 has entered into the 6,800. Okay, now it is going to face very heavy resistance. Now this heavy resistance comes, okay, at the 687x, my level, my very heavy resistance level, 687x. Earlier also the 687x, okay, it played a decisive role in defining whether the market will move up or will come down. Okay, losing the 687x triggered the fall, heavy fall. As of now, this bullish movement is allowed. Okay, allowed, but to the 687x. Okay, only when there comes a closing. I'm not saying a breach. I'm saying only when there comes a closing above the 687x, and then comes the high of this candle. High of this candle was 6882, /82.32. So even if the closing is below 6882.32 but is above 687x, then also this condition will be fulfilled, that the market is now moving up. Moving up to what? Moving up to the all-time high of the S&P 500. That was 6920.34. Okay, it was just above my level in the 691x. Okay, on that day, this day itself, on 29th of October, when it made the all-time high, I mentioned that the maximum it can move to the 691x. That's it. Okay, it moved above the 691x by a few points, and then we have seen the fall. Okay, this is what we were expecting at that time. Okay, so the 6920.34, after clearing this, after gaining this, it will be moving to the all-time high of the S&P 500. Okay, initially there will be the resistance, there will be the hesitation, okay, when it reaches near to the all-time high level, because it will create some fear in the market, because the market is overvalued. Okay, not through the technicals, but if you see the PE ratios of the companies, the top 7, okay, or 8 companies which have actually created the bubble, okay, these companies, so this is very, very high. Other than that, $1 trillion, these companies are moving, revolving, not moving, but revolving the $1 trillion. They are doing, okay, they are revolving this $1 trillion, okay, among themselves. Why they are doing this? Just to push the stock prices up, just to push the stock price up and the stock market up. Okay, and why is that so? Okay, because the manipulator want the market to move up before the bubble burst, because when the bubble burst, okay, then there will be the recession. Okay, then so that is why they want to make money as much as they can by revolving this $1 trillion, okay, among themselves. So actually nothing is happening, practically nothing is happening. It is just pushing the stock prices of the company up. So whenever there comes a news that this company has invested this company will buy the services of that company or so, okay, then the stock moves up. Okay, sometimes Nvidia moves up, sometimes Microsoft moves up, sometimes Apple moves up. Okay, this is how they are doing. Anyways, but what we know is that as of now, okay, movement, this is the tiebreaker. Above that we have 687x/82.32, the high of this candle. Okay, once there comes a confirmed closing above this zone, if not the zone, then above the 687x, okay, then it will confirm that now the S&P 500 is going to enter into the 6,900 range. Okay, as of now there is very good probability, very good chances, because of the change in the technicals, okay, that now the S&P 500 is heading to the 6,900 range. Okay, now because it is saturated on the lower level charts, on the hourly charts also it is saturated. The S&P 500 is saturated, Dow Jones is saturated, and Nvidia is heavily saturated. Okay, because of that saturation, market can move up by like one more day or so. Okay, but then we will have to, we'll see some fall, intraday fall, at least intraday fall, a red candle. Okay, this might not be heavy fall, but there will be a red candle and it will fall. This can happen as early as on Monday in the form of profit booking. Profit booking means that they have pushed the market higher here. Okay, now it will open. The very first sign of the profit booking will be a gap up open. Okay, generally it happens through the gap up open. There comes an open, people will think it is moving up higher, let's buy, and then after the first hour or so, first hourly candle confirms the gap up open. So on Monday, if such a condition is seen, then in the first update, okay, which I give after the first hour, I will mention if the profit booking is going to happen or not. Okay, and when the profit booking happens, then it will be coming down. In the worst case, will be coming down to the 6770, to this mark, and it will then hold, will sustain. Otherwise it will remain in the 6,800, will hold in the 6,800, because it will try to avoid a condition wherein it loses the 6,800 psychological mark. Okay, and if the profit booking happens and this profit booking is limited, then what will happen? In that case we will see that the market moved up, came down, hold, moving up again. Okay, now second time when it moves up, then it will be moving to this, the 687x, okay, /82.32. However, if the S&P 500 hits the 687x/82 on Monday itself through a good gap up open, okay, then most likely it will fail and the profit booking will happen. Still we will need the first hourly closing to confirm. Okay, so when that happens, then second time when it will be moving up, then again the same problem. Okay, but that time there will not be profit booking. In the second time when it hits the 687x/82.32, okay, then that time there will not be the profit booking, rather it will move up, breach, it will move up to enter into the 6,900 and reaching to the 6,920.34, which is the all-time high of the S&P 500. What if the S&P 500 keeps on moving up for next 1 or 2 days? Okay, it enters into the 6,900, then what will happen? Then when it reaches to the 6,900 mark, 6,920, okay, then either before breaching or after breaching, it will have to come down, and when it comes down, then it will be coming down heavily. Okay, then it will be losing like 1 to 2% within 1 day, because then there will be very heavy profit booking, and also then there will be a probability or chances that it may not continue its bullish movement, rather it can re-enter into this, the bearish cycle, bearish movement, because second time or whenever it enters into the Ichimoku cloud, second time, this was the first time after 6 months, fine, this will be the second time, whenever it re-enters into the Ichimoku cloud, this means that now there are very heavy chances it will leave the Ichimoku cloud in the bearish side. Okay, this means that this was a very beautiful trap, okay, for the retail traders, and they have now booked the profits and the market is coming down. But again, this fall will not be seen as the bubble bust. Okay, for the bubble bust to happen, okay, some conditions needs to be fulfilled. Okay, bubble bust will not happen unless there comes 10% fall in the index. First there must be 10% fall. When the 10% fall is seen in the index, okay, then there will be the conditions for the bubble burst. Okay, bubble burst means recession, not actually the recession, it will be a heavy recession, means the market will lose 50, not 50 but more than 50, like 60 to 70% of its value, the entire market. And these 7 companies which are revolving $1 trillion, these 7 companies will also lose the 60 to 70% value. Okay, especially these the big companies, because they are revolving the $1 trillion just to push the stock price up. That's it, there is no other reason. Okay, so this means that the bull side means as of now some profit booking, some fall will be there. Okay, either from here or from here, some fall will be here. If it happens from here, then very heavy fall. If it happens from here, then the limited fall that can be sustained here, because the moving averages will also be there. A lot of support factors are there. Okay, this is the bull side here. Okay, bull side. Now what will happen if it moves up above? Okay, this the 6, if it breaches above. So if it but guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And you can join my Patreon community in order to get these daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday. Now, if for any reason, okay, for XYZ or for any reason, okay, as of now the continuation, this will force the market to hit the saturation. Let's say if the market keeps on moving up, then it must give a closing above the all-time high, then only the new all-time high will be expected. Okay, a closing. Breach will not work. Breach will not work. A closing above this, the all-time high 6920.34 must be there. When that closing is seen, then only we will expect the bullishness in the market in a manner that the 7,000 psychological mark, then it will be open to the market. Okay, 7,000. For this to happen, there must come at first the closing above 6720.34 and then back-to-back closings above. Okay, but a journey from 6920 to 7,000 will not be easy. Okay, we will see some fall intermittently. It will take 1 to 2 weeks. If such a condition is seen, then also 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, that will be there. So as of now, logically, if the manipulators do not push the market anymore up, okay, and if they leave it to the technical, then it should move up maximum to the 687x, okay, /82. Then it should come down. Okay, come down, give 1 or 2 red candles to cool down the technicals, sustains, holds, move up again, move up to the all-time high of the candle, hesitates, fears, comes down to the 687x, okay, holds, recovers, moves up, breaches and closes above the all-time high. This will be the flow of the market. Okay, in this flow, market will remain sustainable in a manner that it will not have to give give up heavily. Okay, it will be in a condition to continue its movement towards 7,000. Bearish movement will not be triggered until and unless the S&P 500 gives a closing below the mark. This was 6770.35, and this was the 6764 before that, 676458 /64.58. okay, including my calculated level in the 677x. This heavy zone, as of now, it will act as the support zone. Okay, as of now it will act as the support zone, but when this zone is lost, when the closing is seen below the zone, this means that the S&P 500 has entered into the Ichimoku cloud and also is bearish. So this high, up down, pump and dump, okay, just to build a trap for the retail users, to convince them that indeed this is the bullish market, this is the bullish movement. But actually they were doing it, okay, just for the pump and dump, just to book the profits. That's it. Okay, now it may happen in the next week or it may take some more time, okay, but it will happen because it will have to come down to test this level, just like it did here. Here also it moved up, and then eventually it will have it had to come down, so it came down, okay, after 7 or 8 days. So as of now, because the S&P 500 has not tested exactly the same kind of movement, you can see, okay, it has not tested, okay, this is the previous high. So it will move up, and then eventually it will have to come down to test. It may take 2 days, 3 days, or 1 week or 2 weeks, but eventually there will be the fall, it will come down. Now this will then decide bullish or bearish. Closing below means bearish. Closes inside the Ichimoku cloud means bearish condition. And in that case, we might not have to wait for the Ichimoku, for the MACD and the stochastic RSI, because when it closes in this manner below this and inside the Ichimoku cloud, then most likely, okay, very soon the MACD and the stochastic RSI will change to bearish. Okay, now one more thing, but before that, okay, when it comes down, then it will be, once it loses this mark, then where it will be coming down? It will be coming down to the 672x. Okay, standard support. After 672x, the standard support 664x slash 6x. Okay, it will be coming down to this, the 664x. See, if you notice on Tuesday, okay, on Tuesday 25th of November, the S&P 500, there was very heavy dump. Okay, S&P 500 came down to what? Came down to this, the support range, this the support zone. It came down to this, the support zone. So there was a condition that only when it loses this, the support zone, then only there will be the fall or the bearishness, otherwise not. Otherwise there will be a bounce from this, the zone. And what happened on that day? The low was 665998. The low was 6660. Okay, it sustained at the zone, and then there was very heavy, pump again, and then moved up 2% intraday movement. So this means that after 672x, it will be the 664x slash 6x to hold. But coming down to the 672x means that market has now again re-entered into the bearish side. Okay, then the bearish side conditions will be applicable, and when it happens, okay, then this will be happening for the second time in a very, very short period of time. Okay, so first it came down. See, first it came down here, then it came down here, then third time when it comes down, then it will breach this mark. Okay, this was 6522. Okay, third time it will breach, because third time it will be closing below the Ichimoku cloud. Closing below the Ichimoku cloud means fall. Okay, it has now formally entered into the bearish side, and it will continue its the bearish movement, and even the manipulation won't be able to help it to recover. Okay, now one more thing, if the S&P 500 weekly chart, okay, I have shown you the weekly chart, MACD of the S&P 500 on the weekly chart is still trading bearish. Okay, stochastic RSI is expected to turn bullish, fine, but MACD is trading bearish. Now if in the next week, if there comes only and only when there comes a very heavy bullish movement, just like this one, okay, very heavy bullish movement, like 2 or 3% bullish movement, 2% bullish movement means it will breach this. Okay, so you can say only when there comes very heavy bullish movement in the 6900 and it sustains and closes in the 6900 and especially above the previous all-time high, then only there will be some chances that the MACD can go bullish on the weekly chart. If this does not happen and the MACD remains bearish, then remember, fear for what? Fear of sudden fall. This kind of 3% fall within a day, 3 or 3.5% within a day, this can happen purely because of the MACD. Okay, purely because of the MACD. So we will get an early indication on Monday whether this is happening or not. Okay, but as long as MACD on the weekly chart of the S&P 500 is trading bearish, there will be a fear of the sudden fall, sudden and heavy fall. There will be the fear in the market. Okay, for now it might take 2 weeks. This means that there must come 2 consecutive weekly closings, green closings, weekly closing, then only MACD will turn bullish. Okay, whether this is limited, normal or heavy, doesn't matter, but 2 consecutive weekly closing means this week and then the next week. Okay, the FOMC week, 2 weeks, then only it will turn bullish, otherwise it will remain bearish. And whenever there is a condition for the fall, then that fall will be accelerated because of the bearish MACD. But again, the fall or the rise depends on this. This is the tiebreaker for the market. As long as fall is up to this, fine, bounce back. Okay, fall below means bearish. Technicals will automatically change. We might need not to wait to see if the technicals have changed or not. So guys, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And you can join my Patreon community in order to get the daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday. And guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask your questions through the comment section.